was under pressure, ministry never quits. I was trying to do better. July 2020 in the mountains of Tennessee, with Hebrews from other hoods, showing true brotherhood. Now it's August 1st and we just finished this fire lesson. Down to the rivers to go receive a fire blessing. Riding to the waters in a set apart motorcade. I can feel a human like chill between my shoulder blades. Old man need to be deaded. Hebrews standing on the shore, reflecting on the wrongs I've done before. Confessing that Yahuwah is the power, Yahusha is the master.
Shalom. Shalom to the brethren. And what up to everybody else? This is your op, Brandon Lewis. And this is the Lunar Solar Shabbat Scripture Study, where we search the Scriptures, looking for ways to apply them to life that we might become perfect. Too long have we read a scripture here and a scripture there, creating whole doctrine, never knowing the fullness of the context of those scriptures, the fullness and the context of those chapters and those books. And we have ignorantly made them say things that they did not say, made them intend things that they did not intend. May we now read them in the fullness, in the context that they were meant to be read in, and know what they were intended to teach us. May the Most High be with us as we read through His Word, as we place them in their proper context, the proper people in whom they were written about, and the proper time frames in which they were written about. This is the time of the rebuilding of the nation, not the rebuilding of temples made with men's hands, but the temples made with the hands and the ruach of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. May we be as we ought to be. May we know what we ought to know. May we have eyes that see. May we have ears that hear. May we build up what needs to be built up. And may we tear down what needs to be torn down. Come together in love, peace, and unity of the brethren, of the mind, and of the heart. In the name of the Son, of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Shalom.
Hey man, about time for y'all to hit that like and that subscribe button. You've been around here soaking up all the game like a dry sponge in a wet puddle. You've been robbing your brother of his likes and his subscription. You don't want to comment. You don't want to hit the share button. You're selfish. You don't want to participate. Then you need to evacuate. Get on up out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry, because we don't need your kind. Now, for those of you that's going to do what's right, go ahead and get it then. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment, and sit back and relax. Let's get into these scripts. You dig?
Shalom, shalom to the brethren. What up, to everybody else? This is your op, Brandon Lewis, and this is the Lunar Solar Shabbat Scripture Study. And as always, we give all honor and esteem to the Creator of the heavens and the earth, the seas, and everything in them. And we say thanks to His Ben, His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world knows and refers to as Jesus Christ. Today we're going to be talking about the story of King Ahab and Queen Jezebel in a lesson entitled, Don't Make God Put Jehu on Your Ass. You don't want it. You don't want it. As we're going to read in this story, we're going to find out that the Most High has a particular way of doing things. He knows how to pick men. He knows how to make situations happen for His will and His promises that He's made come about. Most people familiar with Scripture knows about Jezebel, right? Even if they don't know the entire story, they've heard her name. Her name has become famous amongst believers and non-believers alike because of everything connected to it. Spirit of whoredom, a spirit of rebellion, spirit of just hatefulness, deceitfulness, and these things are put as the evil traits that come from a woman. And since, you know, it's a man's world, but it's majoritively populated by women, uh, uh, many can relate. Okay, many can relate, right? From experience, either from one in whom you are in love with or one in whom you just have made acquaintance. Many are very aware of the spirit, of the characteristics of Jezebel. And some know of her husband Ahab, who was the king. He is correlated to being weak, to being easily manipulated. Certain things, they call them spineless and all of that, right? Many know of this and speak of these two characters. But very rarely do I hear people speak on Jehu. They don't put enough respect on my man Jehu. And if you ask 100 Christians, do they know who Jezebel is? Many of them would say, yeah, she was in the Bible. Yeah, she was wicked. Yeah, evil. And some of them might know Ahab, but little to none of them would know who Jehu is. And Jehu represents, to me, and contextually, a solution. Because you have King Ahab and Queen Jezebel who were raising hell upon the children of Israel, right? Mainly the children of Northern Kingdom, which was called the Kingdom of Israel, right? Not Southern, not the Jews, but the Northern Kingdom Israelites. And they were raising hell. She was persecuting prophets and killing prophets and things who were trying to warn her to stop and speak against her evil deeds. And there seemed to be no one to stop them, right? There seemed to be no one who could bring an end to their tyranny. Well, the Most High raised up a man with zeal, a man with knowledge, a man with understanding, a man with power and might. He wasn't no regular Joe Blow off the street. Okay, he didn't. The Most High didn't raise up some homeless man or some garbage man. Well, he is a form of a garbage man. Please don't get it twisted. He definitely took out the trash, but not a lowly regular guy who would not have an understanding or a good starting point to do the job of the Most High. So the Most High brought in an expert. You'll see as the story goes on. He brought in an expert to handle what he needed handled. And this serves as a stark warning, right, to all of us who may be secure in a position. Because you need to understand that Jezebel and Jehu were very secure. They even had the only other possible offender they might have had was the king of Judah, right? The 12 tribes split up into two kingdoms. They had the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Judah. Ahab and Jezebel reigned over the kingdom of Israel. The king of Judah would have been one of the few people who could have raised up a high enough opposition to stop them, but they were in communion with him. He was in agreement with them, right? Which I believe went on to get him into trouble. Okay. So they were very, very secure in what they were doing, right? They had little to no opposition against the things in which they were doing. So they felt right. It felt ordained. And because nothing prohibited them from doing it, it felt as if it was quote unquote God's will. And no, they found out it was totally different. Right? They found out it was totally different. So let's get right on into it. We're going to be reading out of the book of Second Kings, chapters 9 and chapters 10. Now, Jehu, at this point in time, hold on, that's not the chapter I need. That is not the chapter I need. Let's look into it. Now, Jehu, by this point in time, well, no, Ahab and Jezebel, at this point in time, have already raised hell, have already killed prophets, have already persecuted the people, right? Tormented, oppressed the people. So much to the point that the Most High has swore to punish them and to raise up an adversary unto them. So we are picking up where he is beginning. He is beginning to fulfill what he promised about his punishment on the house of Ahab. Right? Pardon me, y'all. This thing is doing its thing, and I got to do mine. Okay. Okay. Like I said, we're starting off in Second Kings, chapters 9 and 10. So, as we begin, then the prophet Elisha called a member of the company of prophets and said to him, "Gird up your loins, take this flask of oil in your hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. When you arrive, look there for Jehu, son of Jehoshaphat." Now, this is what I never correlated. Jehoshaphat was a king. He was the king of Israel. Let's see right here. I thought he was the king of like Nimshi or something. Uh, let's see which king. Oh, Jehoshaphat, son of Nimshi. I knew it was a Nimshi in there somewhere. Um, let's see what we got here. Jehu, son of Jehoshaphat, the grandson of Nimshi, emerges as a significant. But who is Nimshi? Jehoshaphat, the father of Jehu. According to the Hebrew Bible, Jehoshaphat was the father of King Jehu and the son of Nimshi. He is mentioned in Second Kings. Who the hell is Nimshi? Because I'm thinking of King Jehoshaphat. There's a King Jehoshaphat as well. But if Jehoshaphat is the son of Nimshi, I want to know who Nimshi is. Nimshi, Hebrew word to mean literal son. Nimshi is a biblical figure mentioned in the Old Testament text, the narrative concerning the kings of Israel. He is identified as the grandfather of Jehu. Okay, it's not really going into it. He's just the grandfather of Jehu, Jehoshaphat. It could have been multiple Jehoshaphat, just like it's multiple everything else. I'm thinking in correlation to Jehoshaphat, the king, but apparently it's not him. All right, leave his company. When you arrive, look there for Jehu, son of Jehoshaphat, son of Nimshi. Go in and get him to leave his companions and take him into an inner chamber. Then take the flask of oil, pour it on his head, and say, "Thus says the master, I anoint you king over Israel." Then open the door and flee. Do not linger. So the young, so the young man, the young prophet Nabi, went to Ramoth Gilead. He arrived while the commanders of the army were in council, and he announced, "I have a message for you, commander." "For which one of us?" asked Jehu. "For you, commander." So the prophet was told to send message to Jehu to anoint him. Kind of like what happened with King David. He was anointed king of Israel by a prophet. A prophet was sent to anoint Jehu as the future king, right? And also for him to carry out the will of the Most High about destroying the house of Ahab. Now, this is also a stark difference in what happened to David because both men were anointed king without the knowledge of the current king. But David sat submissive in his anointing, which leaves the question of why, right? Why did David not tell nobody, not make no offensive moves against the person he was anointed king over? But yet Jehu, oh, it was a different story. Jehu got right to the business. Okay? It wasn't about no, don't touch the most high's anointed. No. It was, listen, they out of here. Not only him, every man in the family. And I believe women too. Because he caught some other people and it says it was like 40 something of them. He got all of them up out of there. It didn't say that all of them was men. It just said all the people who claimed to be relatives got them up out of there. So, two totally different stories. Let's see why. He arrived while the commanders of the army were in council. He announced, "I have a message for you, commander." "For which one of us?" asked Jehu. "For you, commander." So Jehu got up and went inside. The young man poured the oil on his head, saying to him, "Thus says the master, the mighty one of Yasharal of Israel. I anoint you king over the people of the land, over Israel." See, same thing happened to David. Same thing happened to David. But this is the thing. Jehu's anointment came with instructions. David's anointment didn't come with no instructions, which is kind of key. Because this is the thing. Unless you are instructed otherwise, do what you've already been told to do. Keep the law as it's been written. If I don't tell you to do nothing different, do it like I told you. And if you can't do it like I told you, don't do it. David's understanding was, you don't touch the Most High's anointing. Jehu's understanding was told, you go knock them off. Okay, you don't believe it? Let's keep going. Thus says the mighty master of Yasharal, I anoint you king over the people of the master, over Israel. Yasharal, you shall strike down the house of your master Ahab, so that I may avenge on Jezebel the blood of my servants, the prophets, the Nabayim, and the blood of all the servants of the master. You see the difference? David was not told to strike down Saul, so he didn't do it. Both of them were anointed, one giving instructions of what to do after the anointing, and the other was not given instructions. So he didn't go off and make up his own thing. He anointed me king. That man want to kill me. That man want to kill my family. I'm finna go assassinate him. David didn't say that. David said he didn't tell me to do none of that. So whatever I got to do to stay out the way until the Most High do whatever it is he want to do. It was kind of like Abraham. This is the faith. This is the trust. The man promised Abraham, you're going to be the father of many nations. I'm going to make an everlasting covenant with your descendants. So when he tells me to take my unborn son, when he tells me to take my firstborn son on a mountain and sacrifice him, listen, I don't know what he's going to do. But he said he's going to make me the father of many nations. This is my only child, okay? So either he's going to save him or he's going to give me many more after him. Either way, I got to move forward. David said, well, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know when he going to make me the true king. He didn't tell me to kill this one. He just said I'm going to be king, and I believe it. He didn't tell me to kill him, so I can't kill him, even though he want to kill me. So I got to trust, I got to have amunah that whatever kind of hardship, whatever kind of destruction these people seek to bring upon me, they're not going to be able to succeed. And this is what we need to understand today. Is that it get tight with the anointing. Huh? The anointing get you tight, boy. This is what's going to put the difference between you and a regular person. You'll find out later about Jehu, what he did to Ahab and them. This wasn't a thing of like faith and trust. This is what Ahab do. Ahab, listen, when we read this story, Ahab is much too comfortable with this. This is not a problem for him. What was a problem for Ahab, not Ahab, Jehu. What was the problem for Jehu was what to do in that power that he had been given. What to do instead of this murdering and killing. His leadership and his kingship was where he had problems. You want to talk about destroying somebody's whole family line? Oh, listen. Hey, man, listen. It's Monday morning. I ain't got no problem with that. It's easy like Sunday morning, Monday morning, whatever you want to call it. It's easy for them. Cakewalk. And this is what we need to understand. Thinking ourselves proud off the cakewalk. Oh, we ran through that. The Most High told me to do that. I ran through it. Rah! So what, you ran through it? That was the easy part. Now, granted, you did things the Most High required of you, and he was thankful that you did that, and he bestowed a barakah on you. He bestowed a barakah on Jehu. Since you did this thing for me, such and such and such and such. We're going to read it. But it went bad after that. Straight into bad news. Most High make a covenant with the man, straight into bad news. Right? We need to think about, when we read scripture, we got to see it on these different levels. Now, some of it is very, very contextual, and some of it is prophetic and metaphoric. And we need to be able to get the prophetic and the metaphoricness of it and then take it and think upon it, right? Before others think upon it for us and give us some old off-the-wall craziness, which is what they've done, which is why we have many, many doctrines about many, many different things. But this podcast is about taking the scriptures and applying them to life, to everyday life, in order that we might become perfect. So let's analyze the life of Jezebel, Ahab, and Jehu, and the story and its contextualness and its metaphoricness, and see how we can apply it to life, that we might be perfect. She says, you shall strike down the house of your master Ahab, so that I may avenge on Jezebel the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the master. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish. I will cut off from Ahab every man, bond or free. And this is where you get into trouble at. You might say, man, listen, I'm not even kin to them folks. I was a slave in the house of Ahab, man. I ain't got to do with that. Listen, everything moves. Because you should have ran off. You knew them folks was doing that stuff. You should have got on up out of there. Not that you could stop them, but you should have left. You should have left. And if you had left on the grounds of the wickedness, then the Most High would have been with you. He can be with you when you standing on his business. When you ain't standing on his business, you got a closed mouth to the wickedness that's going on, then he can't stand with you on that. He can't stand with you on that. So he couldn't stand with the bond. He couldn't stand with the bond. You might say, man, I'm a slave, man. I ain't got no power, ain't got no might in my hand. The book of Ezekiel says the Most High told the angels to go through the city of Jerusalem and place a mark of righteousness upon the foreheads of them that cry out against the wickedness of the city. The city was wicked, but everybody in the city wasn't wicked. You had people that cried out against the wickedness of the city, and they were saved. It said, go and kill everybody in the city except the people that ain't got the mark. No, except the people that have the mark. Don't kill the people with the mark, them that cry out against the wickedness of the city. So the bond should have been crying out against the wickedness of Ahab. They didn't cry out. So he told Jehu, go kill the whole house. Cut off from Ahab every male, bond, and free in Israel. Get them all. Because who gonna be there when he get there? Who gonna be in the castle? Who gonna be in the houses of his sons and his grandsons serving them? Besides the people that's with them, who ain't cried out against the wickedness, who ain't fled because of the wickedness that these people partaking in. Everybody that's there is down with the business. In one way or another, your presence has made you okay. So that's a lesson right there. Let's not be the one who's on Jehu's hit list. Okay? This will get you on the hit list. Not only being Ahab, not only being Jezebel, but being connected to Ahab and Jezebel will get you on Jehu's hit list. You don't want to be on the hit list. It says, I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, son of Ahijah. The dog shall eat Jezebel in the territory of Jezreel, and no one shall bury her. Then he opened the door and fled. He got on up out of there. You know why? Because he don't need Jehu asking them questions. He don't need anybody trying to arrest him. And he's like, he was hired to do a job. The man told the big prophet, told him, listen, go to Jehu and do this. That's all he told him. We would have been the ones want to sit around and talk to Jehu and have him ask questions and we give answers we ain't been told to answer. Who told you to tell me this? Elijah. When Elijah had the dream, I don't know. I guess he had it a couple days ago because that's when he called me and I came straight. Ain't nobody told you to say all that. Go do this and get on up out of there. Come on back. You're doing all that old extra. And this is what some of us will do. We be down there doing too much, doing what we wasn't instructed to do. Do exactly what you was told, no extra, and damn sure don't do no less. But exactly that. Don't get put on Jehu's hit list. Doing that gets you put on the list. When Jehu came back to his master's officers, they said to him, is everything all right? Why did that madman come to you? He answered them, you know the sort and how they babble. They said, liar, come on, tell us. So he said, this is just what he said to me. This how cold Jehu is. Jehu, when they first asked him, he didn't want to tell them. I don't know if it was because he didn't believe it at the time, or if he didn't think he could trust them. But also, Jehu is the captain of the host. All these generals and all this whole stuff, they work for him. So you also have to be wary about people turning on you. So he probably like, you know, the type kind of babble. They say, you're a liar. So now they kind of questioning the man's sincerity, questioning his honor in a way. So I would imagine this kind of piqued the man's interest. Like, I'm a liar. All right, let me tell you then. And if you don't believe it, you won't fight about it, we go ahead and fight about it. That's what I feel like his thing was. All right, I'm going to tell you what he said then. Because if it's real, then it's going to happen. And whatever you talking about or whatever, we're going to see. We're going to see. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you then. Ain't call the man a liar. Okay. This is just what he said to me. Thus says the master, I anoint you king over Israel. He let that thing sit. He ain't telling about the house of Israel. He ain't telling about none of that. Now, I'm pretty sure he still had the oil on his hair, you know. We black folk. He was a black man. It don't just go nowhere. It's going to shine. It's going to shine. Is that then hurriedly they all took their cloaks and spread them for him on the bare steps. And they blew the trumpet and proclaimed Jehu is king. So it's good. It turned out good. They could have been like, you know, blasphemy or something. They could have said, you ain't king, we have a king. But this is another thing about Ahab's rulership, is that he wasn't respected. You have two ways of rulership. like and fear, right? Like and fear. This is the only time middle ground is acceptable, right? You either want people to like you or you want people to fear you. Ahab was one that leaned on the side of fear. So in order to get people to fear you, you have to put them in an aspect of fear. You got to do horrible things to make them say, no, we can't cross Buddy because Buddy gonna do something horrible, and I don't want that to happen to me and my family. What happens is you start to build hatred, right? And hatred to make people desire your downfall. But if you nice all the time, some people will say, you know what, Buddy's soft. Buddy ain't gonna do nothing. He's soft. He's so friendly, so friendly dude. He ain't gonna bust a grape. So Machiavelli, who Tupac got his name from, right? He was a philosopher and a counselor to kings. He wrote a book called The Prince, right? It's kind of like a manual on how a prince ought to rule. And he said that it's better to be respected. Respect is a combination of friendship and fear. I mean, of like likeness and fear. So you are likable, but you also are letting it be known that it's consequences. You know what I'm saying? Consequences come with that. Huh? You let them know. So these men rejoicing at the thought of another king, at a respectable man such as Jehu. Because obviously, for the Most High to pick him, he's not a wicked man. He has good characteristics. And for this job that he has for him, destroying the house of Ahab and Jezebel, he has to be a man that can inspire fear. See, the Most High wants the respectable man. And a lot of people is too hooked on being liked. They don't inspire fear. And some too hooked on inspiring fear and don't nobody like them. So he wants you in that regard to be a mix of the two. You know, to be a mix of the two. And that's what Jehu is. And that's why these men are rejoicing. And say, he told you what? He anointed you king. And boy went and took off cloaks. Then hurriedly they all took their cloaks and spread them on him, for him, on the bare steps. And they blew the trumpet and proclaimed, Jehu is king. Thus Jehu, son of Jehoshaphat, son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram. Joram with all Israel had been on guard at Ramoth Gilead against King Hazael of Aram. But King Joram had returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds that the Arameans had inflicted on him. When he fought against King Hazael of Aram, so Jehu said, if this is your wish, then let no one slip out of the city and go and tell the news in Jezreel. Then Jehu mounted his chariot and went to Jezreel. That man got right on it. He told them boys that said, oh, Jehu is king. He said, if this is your wish, if this is what you want, if you're going to serve me as king, we got work to do. And we got to do it right now. Now, oh, I got to wait on a sign. Oh, he don't wait on no sign. He said, the prophet told this man, the Most High is using you to do what he said he was going to do. And him sending a prophet to anoint him, it has begun. So should we wait to do what the Most High told us to do, or should we get right to it? Jehu said we're going to get right to it. We're going to get right to it. They just anointed the man. That man said, listen, if this is your wish, Then let no one slip out of the city to go and tell the news in Jezreel. Then Jehu mounted his chariot and went to Jezreel, where Joram was lying ill. King Ahaziah of Judah had come down to visit Joram. Now, I do believe Joram, I think Joram is the son of Ahab. Hold on. Let me see here. Jehoram, the ninth king of the northern kingdom. See, let me tell y'all no lies about northern and southern kingdom and all that. Northern kingdom of Israel. He was the son of Ahab and Jezebel. So yes, for context sake, so you know this is. Oh no, Joram, the son of Ahab and Jezebel. Then Jehu, mounted his chariot and went to Jezreel, where Joram was lying ill. King Ahaziah of Yehuda had come down to visit Joram. In Jezreel, the sentinel standing on the tower spied the company of Jehu arriving and said, I see a company. Joram said, take a horseman, send him to meet them, and let them say, is it peace? So the horseman went to meet him. He said, thus says the king, is it peace? Jehu responded, what have you to do with peace? Fall in behind me. The sentinel reported, saying, this messenger reached them, but he is not coming back. Then he sent out a second horseman who came to them and said, thus says the king, is at peace. Jehu answered, what have you to do with peace? Fall in behind me. Again, the sentinel reported, he reached them, but he is not coming back. It looks like the driving of Jehu, son of Nimshi, for he drives like a maniac. And I said, listen, that man be driving that chariot, boy. You see him on that chariot, that boy getting it. Huh? Big boy horses, whipping them horses. Man, moving. Everybody know how Jehu moved on that chariot. They gotta know. How the sentinel know? I ain't know. Because they be talking about it. They talk about how that man get down. Jehu be on them chariots. Joram said, get ready. Oh, get ready. He said, man, if Jehu coming and he coming like that, it ain't good. It ain't good. See, this is the thing. The Most High, I want you to think about Jehu's zeal and his perfectness to do this. This is the Most High's judgment and his solution to a long-standing problem. And his judgment and solution to this long-standing problem is absolute and perfect. This is very dangerous. This is what I'm trying to say. Don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass. Because not Jehu as the person, but Jehu as the solution to the problem that is you. You, Jezebel. You, Ahab. You the one that's got to be taken care of. Most High put Jehu on your ass. Not only your ass, it's your whole house. Like he did him. The whole house. Not only your whole house is you, your family, and everything connected to your family. You find out the bodyguards, the cousins, the servants, the whole house. Make them put Jehu on your ass. Joram said, get ready. And they got his chariot ready. Then King Joram of Israel and King Ahaziah of Judah set out, each in his chariot. Remember what I said about being okay, crying out against the wickedness of the city? You know, King Ahab and Jezebel been killing prophets and doing all kind of wicked stuff. So their son is pretty much on the same type of time. Aha- Ahaziah is hanging with the son. Happens to be there when judgment comes. Then King Joram of Israel and King Ahaziah of Yehuda set out, each in his chariot, and went to meet Jehu. They met him at the property of Naboth the Jezreelite. This happens to be the place that started a lot of the problems. This is the man that Jezebel had killed to steal his property because he didn't want to sell it to Ahab. Jezebel said he don't want to sell it. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of it. She gonna have the man killed. Most I say, you know what? I'm gonna avenge him. So how ironic is it that the avenger just so happens to start his killing spree? Let's say I'm about to start part 2 of my killing spree. The man starts his killing spree in the very place that they killed a man. Nabal. So that y'all for irony. Because it ain't irony. It's intentional. He set it up that way. Because that property, it makes sense why the king is resting there. Because that property was very prized. That property was a key spot. That's why Ahab wanted it. That's why Jezebel wanted it. Because it's special. But the man Naboth know it was special. That's why he didn't want to sell it. I don't want to sell this. This meat. So they killed a man, and it becomes special to them. So much so that the dying king or the injured king wants to rest there and recover there because it's so beautiful and so pleasant. So, okay, yeah, it's going to become your death ground. And that's what happened. When Joram saw Jehu, he said, "Is it peace, Jehu?" He answered, "What peace can there be so long as the many whoredoms and sorceries of your mother Jezebel continue?" Listen, the man's not here. You need to understand that when it comes to Jehu, ain't no turning back. I believe his mindset is, if the Most High call me, it's over with. It's like King David said about that man. Hey, that man want to talk about me. That man want to throw rocks at me. Let him. Go ahead. Most High had to send him. Because I be killing folks. They know about me killing folks. They make songs about me killing folks. And if he got enough courage to curse at me and throw rocks at me, got to be the Most High doing it. Jehu said, if the Most High sent me, all y'all over with. You're done. Everybody know about me. That man seen me coming miles down the road. He said that man driving like Jehu. They know about Jehu. Okay? And the fact that Joram talking about, is it peace? What? Man, I'm driving. I'm coming to see you. It's like the prophets. When the prophets show up, what he asking Jehu? That's what they ask the prophets every time. Is it peace? Is everything okay? No, nigga. I don't come unless it's all bad. When you see me, it's all bad. And this is what's going on with him. So throughout this story, You're going to see this hardness, this maliciousness in Jehu. Well, not maliciousness, but this fervency of aggression. And it stems from the fact of I was sent. And the reason I was sent, because this is what I do. This is what I do. They call me when it's repping time. They don't call me for shenanigans. They call me when it's time to get down. That's why I say, don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass. Now he could. It's other people he could send for the willy nilly. For the you might be able to get out. You might could maneuver your way. You might could repent. He got other people he could send for that. But when it's repping time, oh man, when it's time to put belt the ass, he sent Jehu. And Jehu gonna come with a fervency, the likes of which you've never seen before. And this is what you gotta understand about the whole thing of how he talking to people, how he dealing with people. It's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but we finna get to this business. People gonna be pleading. People gonna be like, come on, man. Woo, 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 woo. Everything Jehu talking about is all about their business. Because they sent me. They didn't send me. They don't call me. They don't call me to play. They don't call me to play. They call me to take care of that business. Don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass. Because he's not going to play with you. When Joram saw Jehu, he said, is it peace, Jehu? He answered, what peace can there be so long as the many whoredoms and sorceries of your mother Jezebel continue? Then Joram reigned about and fled, saying to Ahaziah, treason, Ahaziah. He understands. Now it just hit him. He already was kind of thinking it. Right? He already was kind of thinking it. Now, shout out to him for not hiding in the castle and all that. He got up and came down to see the man. He came down to see the man like, hey, man, what's going on, man? What? Is it peace? Dumb. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no point in running now. You may as well stayed and caught that thing. But, you know, this is what happened. Jehu drew his bow with all this strength. This man take care of business. Where you think you finna go? Where you think you going? You don't run off. Treason, treason. He riding his chariot. You know how they crack the whip on them horses? He running up. Jehu like, hey man, let me see that. Jeffrey, get Lucille. Grab that thing. Pow! Where's you going? This man is expert in this. There is nowhere you could run. There's nowhere you could hide from the judgment of the Most High. That's what he told him in Deuteronomy. They will pursue you and overtake you. You can't do nothing. When he rode up on Jezebel, she thought she was safe. Said, man, you can't come get to me. I'm up here in my window. That's what the Egyptians thought when the Most High sent this plague. They had underground bunkers. In the book of Jasher, the Egyptians had underground bunkers. It said the Most High sent a beast from the ocean with long arms and long tentacles. It said he reached down into their underground bunkers and opened up the doors so the plague can get in the doors. There's no way you can run. There's no way you can hide. There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. You can't run from Jehu. You can't run from Jehu. And here go a dummy thinking he could run from Jehu. Let's see how that works out. Jehu drew his bow with all his strength and shot Joram between the shoulders so that the arrow pierced his heart. He sank in his chariot. The man, I don't know if you know about bows and arrows and whatnot. And I don't know if you know about the types of animals a king would have, but the king would have the best horses, the strongest horses, the fastest horses. So Joram's chariot and his horses is gonna be the supercharger. Okay, it's gonna be the Hellcat with the Ferrari and the Bugatti engine. It's gonna be all of it combined. That man is running for his life from Jehu. You better believe he was way away. Jehu said, "Man, hand me that bow and arrow over there." The man hit the man in his heart, through his back. This is how expert Jehu is. I don't think you understand. This man had to have been half a mile to a mile gone. That's why I told you about the horses and the power and the speed of these horses. This man hit it with an arrow. You can't shoot an arrow straight. Not that far. The farther they are, the more of an arc you got to put on it. Man, hit that man in the heart, man. Don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass, man. Listen. Jehu drew his bow with all his strength and shot Joram between the shoulders so that the arrow pierced his heart and he sank in his chariot. Jehu said to his aide, Bidkar, lift him out and throw him on the plot of ground belonging to Naboth, the Jezreelite. For remember when you and I rode side by side behind his father, Ahab, how the master uttered this oracle against him? For the blood of Naboth and for the blood of his children that I saw yesterday, says the master, I swear I will repay you on this very plot of ground. Pardon me, y'all. All right. For the blood of Naboth and for the blood of his children that I saw yesterday, says the master, I swear I will repay you on this very plot of ground. I told you it was very intentional. You know, it's ironic to the viewer, but to the doer, it's very intentional. You know what I'm saying? Now, therefore, lift him out and throw him on the plot of ground in accordance with the word of the master. Two things of encouragement we need to take away from the judgment that is a Jehu, which is why you don't want Jehu. You don't want the Most High put Jehu on your ass. It's because as a judgment against you, you're done. Okay? You're done. Because Jehu is perfect for the job, metaphorically and actually, right? But Jehu came as a redemption and as a promise of redemption on the servants of the Most High. So, the Most High could send Jehu against you, or he could send Jehu for you. See, which is easier, huh? Which is easier? Now, granted, people had to die, right? They was persecuted, but it's kind of like, you know how people, in the gangster movies talk about if a person killed them, they got homies that's gonna ride for them and do all this old stuff, right? That's whatever. But when the Most High sends somebody to avenge his servants, this is the kind of man he sends. One that's handy, good with the steel, handy with his keep. You send a real regulator out there to avenge his servants. So this is why you always want to be on the good side of the Father, because this is what it's like for his servants. This is the love and compassion, the Ahab and compassion he have for those who serve them, that when they are grieved, he sends a terrible one to grieve the ones that grieved his servants. You know what I'm saying? That's how much compassion he got. He said, I'm going to get him. And I just ain't going to get him regular. No, I'm going to get him to the max. So it's an encouragement to those who serve to know that you have an avenger. Right? You have an avenger on your side. But, however, if you should so happen to offend, if you should so happen to be the disobedient servant, you also have someone who gonna send such an avenger upon you. Okay? Which is easier? Huh? Obedience or disobedience? Life or death? Which one you want? Huh? Naboth and the other prophets who was killed? This is what the Most High said. He said, I swear. That's how you knew it was over with. You knew it was over with. He made him swear. Said, I swear I will repay you on this very plot of ground. That's what he gonna do for the ones he have. Now, therefore, this is Jehu remembering what the Most High said. This is also a part of Ahab's zeal, is the prophecies that he's heard. And he putting two and two together. When that prophet came and anointed him king and said, you're going to be the vessel I use to destroy Ahab's house, he said, oh, he said Ahab house. He said he was going to kill them folks for Naboth. He said he was going to kill every male that pissed against the wall. He said, oh, I gotta get to the business. Most I pick a man that's perfect. He picked a man who was there. Jehu was there when they took that man land. He was there. He heard the prophet. Well, no. He said he was there when the prophecy was spoke against Ahab. I don't know if that means he was there when they killed the man. But he did say he was there when the prophet when the prophecy was spoken. He said, "Oh, now, oh, this is what he's talking about. Oh, how sweet it is to be a part of the promised fulfillment of the Most High's word to the positive." Okay, you can be a part of it to the positive, or you can be a part of it to the negative. Okay, they was like, "Oh, he gonna use me? He gonna use me to fulfill his word? I'm with that. I'm with that. Are you with it?" He said, "Oh man, I can't kill my master, man. He been my king, man, for 30 years, man, or however long he been my king as I serve him." He said, man, the Most High done sent me against you. Me. I kill folks. I do this. You want me to get you? Oh, I gotta get you. When King Ahaziah of Judah saw this, he fled in the direction of Beth Hagen. Jehu pursued him, saying, "Shoot him also." And they shot him in the chariot at the ascent of Gur, which is by Ablim. Then he fled to Megiddo and died there. His officers carried him in the chariot to Jerusalem and buried him in his tomb with his ancestors in the city of David. In the 11th year of Joram, son of Ahab, Ahaziah began to reign over Judah. When Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it. She painted her eyes and adorned her head and looked out the window. This is used to, speak about the negativeness of makeup and things like that, which is, I would agree that it's negative, but not so much just the use of it, but the intent that it's used for. It's meant to be a sort of a spell upon those that look at you, mainly men. Huh? You would think she would come shamefaced. You think she would come like, please, please don't kill me. This ain't something you get fancy for. Huh? This ain't something you get all dressed up and, this ain't something you do that for. Unless you believe that this is a part of some sort of a ceremony that's going to have an effect, your desired effect. And what's your desired effect? That this person sees your side of things, that this person becomes in some sort of way submissive to you. That's the bigger picture about this makeup thing. Is that it's used to bring others into subjection. If no other subjection than to think you pleasing to the eye. If no other subjection. You might feel yourself ugly. You might feel yourself frightful. You say, what? This'll do it. when I do this, this gonna do it. This gonna get them. That's why you got to be happy with nothing. When you're happy with nothing, something isn't an idol to you. Isn't something you worship to have. It's just something you use because you like it. See? Now, a woman who could go out barefaced 98% of the time and only do the makeup every blue moon or something, I would have less of a problem with that than I would of a woman who wore the makeup 90, 95% of the time and went barefaced every blue moon. You get what I'm saying? It's like one is for idolatrous purposes and one is not. One is, this is your custom. Okay, this is your custom. And why is it your custom? Because you feel as if it's some power in it. And the crazy part about it, there is some power in it. To the weak. To the ignorant. Because that woman in that makeup, to certain men, oh man, listen, she bad. But to those with understanding, to those with knowledge of self, oh man, listen, man, shorty, she might be smart in the mind, but something wrong with her. She got that makeup on. You know what I'm saying? It is a red flag to those with understanding. It's a red flag. It's like you might see a dude or hear a person that's very intelligent, that's very knowledgeable, but he stand up and his pants hanging off his ass. He gonna be like, ain't right with Buddy. I heard he sounded real good and great. Pants hanging off his ass. Something ain't right. And makeup is the same thing. You know what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say. To those with understanding, it tells you that there's a problem. Huh? There's a problem somewhere. But anyway, I don't know how I got there, but I went there. Here we are. Jehu came to Jezreel. Jezebel heard of it. She painted her eyes and adorned her head and looked out of the window. As Jehu entered the gate, she said, "Is it peace?" This is what they always want to know. They always want to know. And then she called the man Zimri. You know, I think that's his family's name. So she already know her son is dead, and she already know who killed him, right? She already know who killed him. So why is you want to know, is it peace? And now I'm coming to see you. You think I came to see you on accident? This is why when she heard he was coming, first thing she did was put that makeup on. You put your witchcraft on, and you think your witchcraft is going to work here. That's why I say it's going to be two types of people. It's going to be the ignorant, and it's going to be the knowledgeable. The knowledgeable ain't falling for the shenanigans. Because I know something ain't right. Okay? And Jehu is the knowledgeable. See, when you go to apply your same old tricks that's been working for you, but now the judgment, the strong hand of the Most High done came, your old tricks don't work no more. And this is why you don't want the Most High to put Jehu on your ass. Because that means ain't no more talking to be done. That means ain't no more of your little tricks. Whatever you've been doing that's been working for you, now I'm finna show you it don't work. It don't work. You've been allowed to move in a certain amount of freedom. And you've used your freedom for oppression. You've used your freedom for transgression. This is why out of much affliction is the strong hand of the Most High shown. Now I get to show how I get down because you want to do all this craziness. Huh? Same thing happened in Egypt. Said I brought my people out with a mighty hand because the Egyptians got cocky, because they got fearful of the sons of Elul, of the sons of Yasharal, and got scared and said, you know what? We're going to afflict them. And you afflicted them for so long and did so much. The Most High said, you know what? Now I get to put the good clothes on. Huh? Now I get to put the good clothes on. And he was able to show how mighty he is, how strong he is, because this situation has shown itself. And this is how he gets to show himself again because of the rise of Ahab and Jezebel. Now, the Egyptians, just like Ahab and Jezebel, had certain powers that had worked for them. Oh, man, I go get the army, man. I shut stuff down. And that had worked. That had quieted the people. That had put the people in fear. But when the Most High came, and them armies didn't work no more. Jezebel makeup. When wicked men saw that and seen her, first of all, Jezebel is a king's daughter. I don't know if you know this. Kings don't be sleeping with no ugly women. Don't be sleeping with no ugly women. So they tend to make pretty babies. So Jezebel, by all intents and purposes, was a bad bee. You know what I'm talking about? She was one of them. So a woman who is naturally bad, sexy, beautiful, educated, this is a king's daughter. She brought up in the best school. She wearing the finest clothes. Talking about Victoria's Secret and Versace and the finest of the finest. Talking about smelling good. You can smell her down the road. I'm talking about smelling good, looking good. And then she want to put on some makeup put on the fineries. Listen, the average man, like, you know what I'm saying? Turned on, all kinds of what is Jezebel? Most High sent somebody don't care nothing about none of that. Give a damn about you smelling good, and you finna smell bad. And when your bowels let loose, after your soul leave your body, you know what I'm talking about? That's what you finna smell like when these dogs get done eating you off this street. That's how you finna smell. Uh, your old things don't work no more when Jehu gets upon your ass. That's what I said. Don't let the Most High put Jehu on your ass. It's not gonna work for you. It's not gonna work for you. What was that? As Jehu entered the gate, she said, "Is it peace, Zimri, murderer of your master?" He looked up to the window and said, "Listen, man, ain't even listen. I need you to understand the context of Jehu and his mission and his zeal. This man ain't got no rap for her. When her son wanted to talk and ask all these questions, is it peace? Man said it can't be no peace as long as your mama committing all these whoredoms. He didn't even want to talk no more. He wanted to run. He got hit. Bow! Out of there. She wanted to talk. Is it peace, Zimri? Murderer of your master? That man said, hey! Hey! Who up there rocking with me? Who served the Most High? Let's see how it go. He looked up to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? 2 or 3 eunuchs looked out at him. He said, throw her down. So they threw her down. Some of her blood splattered on the wall and on the horses was trampled on her. First of all, them eunuchs had to know and put a difference between what's what. This is why the Most High sent Jehu. Jehu is the captain of the host. This is the leader of the army. When the king want to go somewhere of importance, he gonna bring his captain with him. He gonna bring Jehu with him. They gonna know about Jehu, cause he the captain of the host for a reason. Cause he be killing folks. David killed his. Saul killed his thousands. David killed his 10,000. They know about Jehu, cause he one of them. So the Most High sent somebody that's respected across the board, that everybody know what it is with them. Man said, who's with me? Now you'd have been a jackass. You think the eunuchs gonna rock with you over their mistress, over their queen? You think they gonna serve you? No, they know who Jehu is. He's not a man to be played with. The castle been talking. Oh man, Jehu done killed Joram. They didn't kill the king. Jehu killed Joram, man. What we gonna do? Jehu, captain of the host, the big bad man. So when Jehu come and said, who you with? Who you with? That's all, man. We rocking with you. Jehu said, well, throw it down here then. And they got right to it. Don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass. Because everywhere Jehu go, the elements gonna serve him. The elements gonna serve Jehu. You know why they serve him? Because the Most High picked the perfect vessel to destroy you with. When he sent his son, you know what the apostle said? Who is this man? Even the elements obey him. Even the wind, everything obey the one the Most High sends. Anybody that gets something off because he let him get it off. And he said, no man take my life. I lay my life down. If he didn't want them to take his life, they wouldn't have took his life. He was Jehu. When he come back, he coming back like Jehu. He coming to kill everything moving, everything that's pisses against the wall. Jehu was so you could understand what the lamb was gonna be when he came back. Cause you wouldn't understand it no other way. You'd be like, he gonna come back with thousands upon thousands of his angels. He gonna come back to avenge. Okay. Then he said, no, he gonna come like Jehu. Oh, oh, I must have. Oh, he gonna come like Jehu. Ah, Jehu didn't play no games when he came. Jehu killed Joram. Jehu had Jezebel killed. Jehu came and killed the whole. He killed the bodyguards, the sons, everything. What did he say? He spared none. That's how Jehu did it. That's how the son gonna do it when he get back. Oh, ooh. I don't want no problem with the son. I don't want no problem with Jehu. Don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass. It's gonna be rough for you. He looked up to the window and said, "Who is on my side? Who? 2 or 3 eunuchs?" Looked out at him. He said, "Throw her down." So they threw her down, and some of her blood splattered on the wall and on the horses was trampled on her. Then he went in and ate and drank. He said, "See to that cursed woman and bury her, for she is a king's daughter." But when they went to bury, this is the thing. There is a respect for kingship. So much so that he only putting a hand on her because he was told to. In his mind, he forgot about the prophecy completely, right? He knew that the house was going to pay and all that. He forgot a specific part. It's about to tell you in a second. But this is so we could take note of dominion and rulership. Just like King David didn't lay his hand on Saul without instruction because of his position as a king, the anointed of Yah. It was like, who told you to put your hand on Yah's anointed? Jehu is so respectful of the office of kingship and quote unquote queenship. He said, you know what? Go bury her. But look what happened. But when they went to bury her, they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. When they came back and told him, he said, "This is the word of the master, which he spoke by his servant Elijah the Tishbite. In the territory of Jezreel, the dogs shall eat the flesh of Jezebel." He had forgot about that thing. You know he forgot. That's why he told him to go bury her. If he had remembered, they might have said, "Hey, don't you think we ought to bury?" He'd be like, "Don't worry about it. The dog's gonna eat her." He didn't say that. He said, "You go bury her." They came back and told him the dogs ate. He said, "Oh, yeah, that's what he was talking about." That's what he was talking about. That's it. I made the Most High put Jehu on your ass because he perfect for what he got to do. He perfect for what he got to do. The corpse of Jezebel shall be like dung on the field in the territory of Jezreel, so that no one could say, "This is Jezebel." Oh, that's also a part of the prophecy, is that her corpse shall be like dung on the field in the territory of Jezreel, that no one could say, "This is Jezebel," saying she's going to be unrecognizable. You know what that means? They probably ate her flesh off. Okay, by the time they got done with her, she didn't have nothing but her skull and her hands. I'm talking about that's all that was left. What is that? They found no more of her than the skull and the feet and palms of her hands. They didn't even have the fingers. The fingers was gone. Yeah, then but the palms. The poems is there. Okay. Show that, yeah. Mighty and awesome. This is part of the awesomeness. Huh? You can't believe it. Can't believe the awesomeness of it. Uh, babe, you got something to say about
Shalom, babe.
Shalom?
No, I'm just mad that you moved your palms like that to, to the thing. But you know, I came in late, so I'm just catching. Catching up. But I'm
What do you
here.
think about what I said so far?
I think it's two. I always liked the story of Jehu. Um, and just how he zealous was in his actions. For the Most High, like you said, he was a killer about the Most High. He was just ready to go all the time. And as you was talking, I was just thinking, like, dang, all these people who move when the Most High speak, when he speak, like, immediately. Like, I want to be like that. Like, if the Most High was to give instruction, like, I would like to think that if it was down to it, like, I would move accordingly. But in reality, it's like, mm, it's
Is that
like,
is that a good thing? Because you saying you would like to, and like in your heart of hearts, but the truth of the matter is that it's not the case at the moment.
yeah, because there be a lot of factors, like, because you be like, well, did the Most High really say this? Is it not me? What, my own desires is, it's just so many things that we do to ourselves that we ended up talking ourselves out of doing what it is that we supposed to do. Like when the Most High says to move, or things have been made clear to us, because it's not like the Most High don't make things plain to us. It's just, will do we choose to see those things plainly, or do we choose to complicate things because it might not look like what we think, or what I'm saying, certain things like that. So it's just like certain aspects that we put into place on our own selves that dictates how we move, when the Most High's like, just do what I say when I say to do it. Like, so that's what Jehu do. So I was just thinking, like, dang, that's an awesome ruach to have. Like, so that's just what I was thinking about, like, when it came to Jahab. I mean, Jehu and Jezebel. And then, like what you were saying about Jezebel, that spirit, that witch, that's, women be so quick to go to,
The
they tack.
witchcraft with the makeup.
Yeah, like, it's just, it's far beyond the makeup too, just as the character of a woman, just that manipulation part. Like, I see it dated. I see it every day. Like, well, I've been seeing it every day. Just how, like, a woman will use certain things to get an outcome out of other people, or specifically men. Just like how Jezebel was doing. Like, she adorned herself, put on all her little stuff, and what I'm saying. It's not like the women don't know the power that it holds. Because even with uh, who was it? Um, Judith that killed the
Oh yeah,
king
yeah, yeah.
herself. So yeah, it's like women know the power that it wields when they, like you said, when they use it correctly, just for, like, us as women being a Joshua, like, we have a certain aesthetic about us, like jewelry and all of those things like that, but it's not for the purpose of trying to subdue or bring someone into subjection for us, or to get something from somebody. It's just because we like to look, beautiful, or whatever the case may be. But like you said, there's women who be like, oh, let me go put this on so I can get this. Let me go do this so I can get that. Like, yeah, I see it. I've been seeing it.
I'm glad you get to see it so that you can put a difference between the Kadash and the profane, right? The holy and the wicked. So that, yeah. So now we're getting into the greater works of Jehu. Now he's already okay. What needs to be noted is that Ahab is already dead. Okay, Ahab is dead. I do believe Ahab repented before he died, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let's see. I do believe he repented, but he was already under the judgment. Okay,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was about to say I think he did, but because remember, I think we had the conversation when we was talking about because he repented at the end. Does that mean that he's I think we was because it was like even if he repented at the end, the life that he lived wasn't a testimony for the things of the promise. Like his life didn't give account of that. He did wickedly his whole life. So just because he repented of that right before death, does that mean all of a sudden now he got qualification for these things? Like because I remember I feel like we had that conversation before, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Just because you repented, don't mean certain things don't have to be like avenged, and that's what happened. Like you can get your repentance, but at the same time, debt still got to be paid. And I think that's a part of what this whole thing was. So let's just confirm that Ahab repented. Let's go back to, I guess, chapter 8, because we started in 9. Alicia, also 7 years. Hazael. Okay, no, it had to be 7, 7 to 6. That's talking about Joram, his son. Sorry, y'all. We're trying to find out if Ahab repented before he died. 'Cause I made a statement about it.
Was it before? What was it before? Because didn't they tell him about the judgment against Jezebel, or was it after the fact? Because
Hey, what? Say that again.
I feel like if I'm not mistaken, I feel like he found out about or something happened where somebody like told him something about what happened or and that's when he said it. Or was it before?
Hold on, this ain't
Before it happened.
this ain't working. Let me see something real quick.
Google, did Ahab repent before he was killed?
I got it, babe.
Okay, sorry. I digress. I'm gonna mute.
Oh, it's the first king. All right. This is First Kings chapter 21, 25 through 29. It says, there was none who sold himself to do what was evil in the sight of the master like Ahab, whom Jezebel his wife incited. He acted very abominably in going after idols, as the Amorites had done, whom Yahuwah cast out before the people of Israel. And when Ahab heard those words, he tore his clothes and put sackcloth on his flesh and fasted a day and fasted and lay in sackcloth and went about dejectedly. And the word of Yahuwah came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, "Have you seen now Ahab, how Ahab has humbled himself before me? Because he has humbled himself before me, I will not bring the disaster in his days, but in his son's days, I will bring disaster upon his house." Told I y'all, man. You know, this is key. Although the Most High has a person like Ahab, I mean, like Jehu, uh, who is perfect to get into your hind part. Okay, perfect. He's looking for the meekness and the humbleness of repentance. And Ahab showed that. And because he showed that, he was saved out of parts of this judgment. Because if he hadn't done that, it was going to fall on his house while he was living. Now, this is also a key thing, is that his wickedness carried over to his children. Because why is his son wicked as well? Why is his son with the folly? Why ain't his son repentant? Hmm? Because his son been raised up with it. What you took on as a grown person, say, you know what, now I want to start doing this. Your children was born in it. Like the man said, was it, you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it. And that was Joram. Joram was born in the idolatry lifestyle. And this is what we need to be careful about, how we raise our children, that we raise them up in the right way. Now, granted, they may still go off. This is what happened to uh what is his name? King Manasseh. Manasseh was raised by Hezekiah. Hezekiah went off. Hezekiah started right, then he went off, and that made Manasseh go off. He was raised up doing all kind of wickedness, and then he went into captivity, and he repented of his wickedness, and then he got right. So it seems to be this thing of just this seesaw roller coaster type thing with righteousness and wickedness. Now, as we see with King David raised up a son who was right in Solomon. But he also, you don't really hear too much about the other sons outside of Absalom. And I think one of the sons raped his sister. I can't remember what his name was. I don't think it was Absalom.
It
So,
was it was
you know,
was it Amnon? Was it Amnon? Amnon? No. So it was one of those A names, I believe.
let's see.
But who else had a Samuel's sons?
You?
Wasn't they was
Yeah.
contrary to him? That was one of the little stipulations that the people was trying to use it. Go ahead, eat it. That the people were trying to use against them was like, well, aren't your sons, or they what was they, thieves or something? Or they stole, what was they did.
Well, they were stealing from the offerings, and they were sleeping with the women in the temple. Um Amnon. Yes, Amnon was David's son that slept with Tamar. But he did it under the leadership and rulership of Absalom, because David, he was on the run at the time from Absalom.
Yeah, right. And that's crazy. And I I got to see. I got to go back and read it because I've always this story was in almost like intriguing because it's like almost like the same dynamic. Not almost like things have changed, but Saul and David, and then David and his son.
It is a lot to the Absalom thing, especially when you go to like Jasher. No, not Jasher. To
Jubilee,
not Jubilee. What's the historian from
Josephus.
with the wars of the Josephus? Josephus in the histories of the Jews
Hmm.
talks about Absalom, and it's deep. We're gonna have to. It talk about how he was and how he moved and everything. The boy was handsome. King David, he wasn't for like all the show and the fanciness and all that, but Absalom came with the boy white linen jewelry, silk.
But she's
Like when he showed up, he
like,
was like, that boy sharp. Said that boy had hair down his back. Said the boy was pretty down to his feet. Everything about him was pretty. How he moved, the people loved him. I'm assuming he could fight. He could do everything. Like he was really like perfect for real. And that's why the people like he played a role as like a politician, and he was the one that the people was talking to and seeing. So
Oh no.
when he took over like it's my time now. You know, King David was old and he wasn't really like out there. So the people fell in love with Absalom because he the one showing up when David ain't showing up. And so it's like it was like, man, we rocking with Absalom. We love Absalom. So when Absalom was like, I'm king now, it was like, yeah. Like, it was crazy. It was like that's the
that's crazy because in the 66, it'll make us seem like the people like from the okay, so from the way you put it, if it's like the people, it was almost like an agreement type thing. But in the 66, I don't believe it's put like that. I believe it's put like he asserted his own self over the people and made the people divide, or because half didn't have go.
it was slow. It was slow, but how he got the people was that he was like he used to sit, I think, at the gates of the castle or something. So like when the people would come or whatever, he would be there. You know what? This shit about ain't nobody gonna watch this thing no way. So let's get into the thing. Let's find out about what Josephus said. What Josephus said about antiquities of the Jews. There we go.
So wait, hold on. They got the Orthodox of the. Is it what? How many books is it? Antiquity of the Jews. You got Josephus.
Antiquities of the Jews and the wars of the Jews.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna find out about how Absalom came to power. It says how David reigned over one tribe at Hebron, while the sons of Saul reigned over the rest of the multitude, and how in the civil war which then arose, Eshel and Abner were slain. Hold on, that's not really what I want to find out about Abner. Now, Abner was a key part of the
Now, what
Absalom.
is this? Because I want to read that because you know how many times I done restarted. First and Second Samuel. But I want to I want to read that. This is Antiquity of the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how David fell in love with Bathsheba to her husband Uriah, for which he was reproved by Nathan. They said that Bathsheba was the baddest thing in Israel. Look at this. Where he used to walk at that hour, he saw a woman washing herself in her own house. She was one of extraordinary beauty, and therein surpassed all other women. Bad. Bad. So you gotta ask
You think
yourself, how
the bone?
Uriah, man, a Hittite, why this man got the baddest woman in Yasharal? What's going on with this? He had to been a man, a hell of a character. And the Most High bestowed on him, a pleasant gift. That gift got him killed, though. It's like, you got a lot of people by their children the best of things. And these children wear this stuff in the wrong place, get killed for it. Hmm? That's what happened with Joseph and his coat. His father thought it was a good gift. That gift made him hate it. You know what? We finna kill this. That's what they thought to do. But the Most High saved them out of it, so yeah. But Uriah, Uriah is made a principle of, you know, hatred for real. It's like this is what happens when they hate you. But when you look at Uriah, although he was hated, although he was like, you know, a bump in the road of King David, when you look at him, he was blameless. Hmm? Say whatever you want to about Uriah, but he was blameless. He was so blameless, David could even find a way to justify killing the man. It's also how the Most High sets you up too. He sets you up with the perfect avenger, or to get the perfect avenger brought on you. You know, it might be more Hasatan, but either way it go, that's how it worked out. You know, Uriah is the counter to Jehu. Jehu is the one who is perfect in his aggression. Uriah is the one that makes your aggression abominable. Like, how you gonna hate on Buddy? Hmm? Why you gonna cross Buddy? Buddy ain't do nothing. Buddy is like the coolest of the cool. Why is you doing that to him? Now you deserve Jehu because you mess with Uriah. You know what I'm saying? Be careful by running across Uriah. Because Uriah will make the most high put Jehu on your ass. And he's awesome that way. Here we go. Absalom. David war on his own head. He found damn, look at the Solomon being born already. Went in unto Bathsheba's wife and Stephen. Okay, anyway, let's get to Absalom then. How Absalom murdered Amnon, who had forced his own sister, and how he was banished and afterwards recalled by David. When the king was returned to Jerusalem, a sad misfortune befell his house on the occasion following. Mind you, this is after judgment was pronounced, was prophesied on David that the sword would never depart from his house. Right. So we immediately see bad things popping off because he touched Uriah. When the king was returned to Jerusalem, a sad misfortune befell his house on the occasion following. He had a daughter who was yet a virgin and very handsome, insomuch that she surpassed all the most beautiful women. That's what I told you about these daughters. Okay? Kings don't be sleeping with ugly women. They usually ain't ugly men. So they handsome men having sex and children with beautiful women producing beautiful children. That's how you know Jezebel just with no ugly, ain't somebody you just can't respect when you see her. She gonna disarm you just by the fact that she beautiful. And then she, with all this extra stuff, with all the extra fineries that come with being royalty, you can't. What you gonna do? It takes the Most High to be able to have strength against these people. When you're around certain people with certain auras about themselves, people be wondering like, man, why my wife cheated on me? Man, listen, she got around somebody with that aura. People be like, why my husband cheated on me? They got around somebody with that aura. When that aura get around you, you ain't even in control of your faculties. You got it. Take the Most High. If it went for the Most High, man, what David said, I might have well slipped if it went for the Most High. Not concerning Uriah. Came to Uriah, that boy didn't. It was too much. Overrode his circuits, and that's what happened when you get around them beautiful folks. It's one proverb said, "Don't spend too much time in the company of a singer." And I don't know if you know about people who can sing real good. It's something about them folks. Maybe I can't quite put my hand on it. They have an aura. It don't always have to be sexual, but it's like a specialness about them. And if you find one with the specialness that is a sexual type person, listen, man, can't hang around them folks. You got to get up out of there. They're gonna get you. They're gonna turn you. And that's what it was with these beautiful royal women. That's why the scripture tells us about our women being shamefaced and our women covering themselves because they are beautiful women. And because when you spend too much time in the presence of beauty, it's going to deceive you. It's going to make you carnal. It's going to make your flesh move. This is just fleshly. Beauty is going to make you think. That's why I say, don't gaze too long. Don't look too long. Don't spend too much time in the company of. Because before you know it, you're going to get, listen. I said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Flesh, how you want to get on up in there. That's why sometimes you got to get up and remove yourself from situations. It ain't so much that your wife won't do and your husband won't do. It's the fact that they won't leave themselves in a position long enough to fall victim. But boy, if they should happen to get weak and sit too long and stay too long, they end up like David. You're gonna end up like Amnon. That's what happened to Amnon. Spent too much time. They said that girl pretty, and he been seeing this girl his whole life, but he been kept from it. He been put in different circumstances, and when they get a little older, and ain't nobody there to separate them, and ain't nobody there to keep them apart. Look what happened. That lust just grew to a point. He said, "Man, I got to have it. Got to have it." And that's what happened. That's how affairs happen. That's how things happen. People done did too much. People done did too much. It's been seen, you know, It's been too much familiarity. Now it's about to go down. And can't nobody stop it. And it said, she surpassed all the most beautiful women. Her name was Tamar. She had the same mother with Absalom. Now Amnon, David's eldest son, fell in love with her, and being not able to obtain his desires on account of her virginity, he just wanted to sleep with her. He didn't want to marry her. He just wanted to hit one thing. And the custody she was under was so much out of order, nay, his grief to eat up his body, that he grew lean and his color was changed. Apparently, virgin daughters had like a great company. Kind of like now, how you see the celebrities and all that with all these handlers and all these people with them. They got the assistant and the assistant's assistants, and they got the bodyguards, and they got a bunch of people that's with them everywhere they go. When you're a virgin, at least in King David's house, like, man, I'm gonna watch my daughters, man. You know, I'm gonna give them 15 handmaids. I'm gonna give them 10 security. They ain't gonna have time to get off and bring shame on my house by giving up their virginity. We ain't gonna have time. They ain't gonna have time. It's gonna be too hard. That's why I said a great company. What that thing said? And the custody she was under. Listen, too many people. That man been wanting this woman. He said, I can't catch her. She's a virgin. I can't catch her, man. Security is tight. Well, so much out of order. Nay, his grief so eat up his body that he grew lean, and his color was changed. Now, there was one Jonadab, a kinsman and friend of his, who discovered this his passion, for he was an extraordinary wise man and of great sagacity of mind. This is how the Most High. What's happening right now in the house of David is a spiritual Jehu. And it's so awesome that he could just tie it. I wasn't planning on going here. I was just going to read chapter 9 and 10 and keep it moving. But this thing didn't turn into something else. Far be it for me to stop it, right? Let him use me. So what's happening right now is a spiritual Jehu, something that is perfect for the judgment and the destruction that the Most High has promised. He said a thing. It might not happen right away, but when it's time to happen, it happens perfectly. This man been wanting to sleep with his sister for forever. But after the Most High pronounced judgment on David, now all of a sudden, this man then finally met somebody that could figure out his problem. His problem is, I want to sleep with her, but how am I going to sleep with her? She got all these folks with her. I can't get to her. Now he done met somebody that said the man is extraordinary, extraordinary wise. Most High got a perfect hitman. Perfect hitman for the job. Man said, I'm gonna bring destruction to David's household. Said, how you gonna bring destruction to David's household? That man wise. That man done brought his children up wise. That man got his household in order. How you gonna destroy him? I said, don't worry about it. Is anything too difficult for me? Huh? Yeah, he didn't raise them up right. But you know what? Lust of the flesh is always there. It's always there. Huh? As righteousness abounds, wickedness lurks. Wickedness lurks about. What does it say? Roaming about, seeking whom he may destroy. And say, you know what? I'm going to open the floodgates on him. Got somebody for you. Huh? That eldest son, true enough, he ain't did no wickedness yet, but he been thinking about it for the longest. Now I'm going to put something in play that he can finally do what he wants to do. Hey, man, listen, spiritual Jehu. Don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass, boy. It said he was extraordinary wise man and of great sagacity of mind. When therefore he saw that every morning Amnon was not in body as he ought to be, he came to him and desired him to tell him what was the cause of it. However, he said that he guessed that it arose from the passion of love. He said, I don't know what he in love with somebody. He don't know who. He don't know who. He knows something ain't right. Because he wise. Got a hell of a mind on it. So Amnon confessed his passion. Mind you, before David got pronounced this judgment on, ain't none of this stuff happened. Ain't none of this stuff happened. At least how it's happening now, he might have been feeling a way, but he ain't been feeling enough of a way to make Jenadab see what's going on. Now everything just coming together. You know why it's coming together? Because the Most High didn't pronounce judgment. Now it's time. Now it's time. It's time now. And this is why you got to be on the man good side, man. Who's to say what's going to flip the switch? Now it's time. Now it's your time. Now it's your time to get Jehu on your ass. This is what the lesson is about. Let's be like Ahab and repent and turn from that thing. And hope we ain't been like Ahab as far as wickedness. And that he say, you know what? Judgment's still going to come on your house. But I'm going to save you out of it since you had enough mind to turn from your wickedness. Since you had enough mind to turn, I'm going to save you out, but I'm still going to get the rest of your house. Let's hope we don't get that far. You know what I'm saying? But boy, when Jehu get on your ass, boy. Amnon confessed his passion, that he was in love with a sister of his who had the same father with himself. So Jenadab suggested to him by what method and contrivance he might obtain his desire. That man did met the perfect man. Could nobody else in the house tell him how to make this thing happen that he been wanting to happen for so long? Now is the day. Jehu on your ass, boy. For he persuaded him to pretend sickness and bade him, when his father should come to him, to beg of him what his sister might come and minister to him. For if that were done, he would be better and should quickly recover from his distemper. He said, man, act like you sick. Your daddy gonna come. Your sister ain't gonna come for you. She on the watch. The only person that can get your sister from under her watch is your daddy. And the only way to get your daddy to do it is for him to think you sick. And for you to ask him to bring your sister. You're sick. She ain't going to bring them 20, 30 people she with all the time. She ain't going to bring them with her. They're going to have to wait outside. The man wise. The Most High is wiser. Are you getting it? Huh? Then he put the perfect play down. This destruction of David's house could not have happened if it didn't happen like this. Spiritual Jehu is moving. You don't even know it. You think David knew Jehu was moving when he came to visit his son? While his son's sitting there talking to Jenadab, you think he knows spiritual Jehu is coming on his ass? No, he don't know. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Jehu is on the way. David didn't repent it, though. He didn't repent it just like Ahab did. But the Most High told him, sword shall never depart from your house. Jehu coming on your ass. You don't know when he coming. The Most High told Ahab, since you humbled yourself before me, I'm not going to do this in your time. I'm going to do it in your son's time. Jehu's coming on your ass. He just ain't going to come. He ain't going to come for you right now. He ain't going to come for you personally, but he coming for your house. This is Amen. Man, awesome, man. Not only Jehu's awesome, the one who sends Jehu's awesome. I watch him, boy. So Amnon lay down on his bed and pretended to be sick, as Jonadab had suggested. This is going on in your house without you knowing, because of something you did. And this is horrible to you. Although nothing's gonna happen to your physical body, you're gonna be fine. The Most High is doing something. He's not already told you it's gonna happen. He didn't tell you how the intricacies of it, but he said judgment's coming. And this is what's happening. Some of the worst things. David is a passionate, loving man who I'm sure loves his children. Man ain't never thought his eldest son. You got to think, in the Hebrew community, the eldest son is like a prized possession. You know what's the second prized possession to a Hebrew man? His eldest son and his virgin daughter. This is the worst of the worst. She's so prized, she got a company so damn big, the son can't even figure out how he gonna sleep with her. Because she prized. Her virginity is prized. The man can't figure out. It take an act of the Most High for this man to figure out a way to sleep with this woman. That's how prized she is. That's how much protection been placed on her. If it went for the Most High, it would have never happened. Do you see how terrible this man can be? It takes divine intervention to get to this man's daughter. He thinks he's safe. Just like Jezebel thought she was safe. What you mean? I'm Jezebel. I've been running through stuff. I've been doing stuff. It's like Samson. He thought he was going to be able to tear. He thought he would break the chains and the bonds as he did. That's what he said. He thought he could break them as he had did formerly. But when the Most High bring Jehu on your ass, ain't no more breaking like you did formerly. No. It's over with. Gotta be careful, man. We gotta be careful. This is the kind of power that we serve. Now, it'll be terrible against us as an offender, but this is also the kind of person we're serving who would avenge us of our enemies. You got to think about Uriah, who served him, who fought for his army, who trusted in his word. That man got wrong. That man got done wrong. Most High said, I'm going to avenge my servant. This for all them Israelite, Israel only niggas talking about Gentiles can't be saved. He saved Uriah. Avenged that man in his death against his beloved son, with whom he was well pleased. He said, I've been well pleased with you, but you did this to Uriah. He served me. I got to get you. Because he served me in full. Now, granted, you've been serving me. You've been doing right. He said, the scripture said, David pleased the Most High in every way except in the thing concerning Uriah. Hey, man, the man's so awesome, man. I get chills talking about this stuff. The man is so awesome. Uriah did everything he's supposed to do. The Most High loved David because up until that point, he had been doing everything the Most High wanted him to do. So if it came time to choose, I got two people doing everything I want them to do. David slipped. David slipped for a second. You don't supposed to take that man's wife. That's what happened to Jezebel and Ahab. Why you take that man's land? That's that man's land. Leave that man. That man don't want to give you his land. He'll give you everything else. He'll lay down his life for you. He don't want to give you his land. That was Uriah. That man will give you everything you want. That man just don't want to give you his wife. You know he ain't gonna want to give you his wife. That's the most beautiful woman in the land. That man ain't giving you his wife. That's the most prized possession. That's a little you lamb. Same story. See how these stories go together, man? I wouldn't know none of this. I wouldn't plan on doing none of this. But it's just happening, right? Told I same stories lining up. But you get how the Most High will even judge his son. This is what the camp's not getting. He'll judge his son in the favor of the sojourner for what's right. You're not safe because you my son and I love you. You think you got carte blanche or the freedom to go be wicked? He said, no. I judge you too. I judge the foreigner. I judge you in favor of the foreigner if the foreigner serving me in a place where you ain't. So I judge you too. The camps don't get this. Camps don't see
That's
the camps
deep.
say,
I just wanted to
yes.
say that's real deep. I've been listening to you, and that's crazy. That's real deep. That's real stuff. Like, cause I mean, and that's the justness of the Most High. Like, that's awesome. So that yeah.
Yeah. Laid out plain. Laid out plain. Man, this is my son with whom I am well pleased. But I bruised him though. You don't think I bruised him? I bruised him. And that's what he did. We reading about how this bruising is coming to play in matters of his heart and the things that he cherished and in places where he's secure. Man ain't worried about no war. David go off the war and fight, lose limbs, lose everything. He'll do that willingly. So he said, that ain't he ain't gonna feel that. He ain't gonna feel the war thing. Let me hit him where he gonna feel it at. He gonna feel it at the house. He gonna feel it with his eldest son. He gonna feel it with his virgin daughter. Prized possessions. Like the rich young man. Huh? The rich young ruler. What he said? What lack I? He said, you've heard, keep the commandments. He said, these I have done since I was a young man, since I was a youth. David said the same thing. Serve the Most High, keep the commandments. I've been doing this since I was a youth. He told the rich young ruler, he said, man, sell all your possessions and follow me. He said, I don't be able to do all that. What's your rich young ruler moment? And what he told David, leave that man's wife alone. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Huh? Gonna get you in trouble, boy. Get you in trouble, man. Your rich young ruler moment. Man said, I've been well pleasing to you. I've been keeping your commandments like you tell everybody to do. I've been on that. He said, well, this thing right here, I need you to get this up. What? That man dropped his head and walked away in sadness. The thought of David talking about, you got to give up Bathsheba. I know you want that man wife, and I know you want to be in don't do it. What? I gotta get me some Bathsheba. What the rich young ruler said. Man, I gotta have my money. My money? You want me to give up my money? What's wrong with monies? I keep the commandments. I'm giving alms deeds. I'm giving you tithes. He didn't say that man had none of them problems about not giving the offering, not giving 10% to the poor and the needy. It didn't say he didn't do that. He just said, sell all you got, give it all to him. Oh, give it all. Now, I ain't got no problem with 10% now. You everything? No, can't do it. And we gotta be wary of the rich young ruler moment. You gotta be wary of that rich young ruler moment. David came to the rich young ruler moment. You know, we can't be happy with, oh, I keep your commandments. That's what the people gonna say at the end. Lord, Lord. What do you mean? Have we not done great things in your name? Your rich young ruler moment, I didn't know you. You ain't cleaved to me. Not only that, you ain't repent afterwards. Now we got the people that repent afterwards now. But the judgment still gotta come down. Jehu still gotta get on your ass. You can repent. That's fine. Still gotta put Jehu on your ass though. You gotta pay. You gotta pay. Now, to be fair, David's judgment in this, it could be tied to his numbering of the people too. I don't know how far this happened because he was judged as well for numbering the people, right? Because he was told not to number the people. Um, I don't know if it was a specific tribe he was told not to number, or if it was all of them. But he did number them, and it was a judgment. But I think that judgment was that I think like a third of the people died from sickness. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure how it is in the whole thing, but I just want to put that out there in case people say, "Well, it ain't really about Uriah; it's about him numbering the people." So I just want to put it out there, you know, because it's been a while since I've been over this. I was only supposed to be talking about the story of Jehu, but we didn't jump and it didn't, aligned and all that. So we here anyway. Toraya. Anyway, Jehu's on his ass. So Amnon lay down on his bed and pretended to be sick, and Jonadab, as Jonadab had suggested when his father came and inquired how he did. He begged of him to send his sister to him. Accordingly, he presently ordered her to be brought to him. And when she was calm, Amnon bade her to make cakes for him and fry them in a pan and do it all with her own hands. And cakes in a pan is like sweet bread. I don't know if you know about sweet bread. Sweet water cornbread, as they say. Anyway, throw that here. Anyway, and do it all with her own hands, because he should take them better from her hand than from anyone else's. So she kneaded the flour in the sight of her brother and made him cakes and baked them in a pan and brought them to him. But at that time he would not taste them, but gave order to his servants to send all that were out of his chamber. He gave order to his servants to send all that were there out of his chamber. So they did come. They did come. That great company came and sat by, but he sent them away. But gave order to his servants to send all that were there out of his chamber, because he had a mind to repose himself, free from tumult and disturbance. As soon as what he had commanded was done, he desired his sister to bring supper to him into his inner parlor, which when the damsel had done, he took hold of her and endeavored to persuade her to lie with him. He tried to talk her into it at first. He didn't try to take it. Try to talk her into it. Whereupon the damsel cried out. This is one of the things you got to do when a rape happens. You got to cry out. If you don't cry out, it's not a rape. It's consensual. All this stuff about fear and I was too scared to cry. No, you got to let it out. Biblically, because it said if you don't cry out, you and the man's supposed to be stoned. But it says she cried out and said, "Nay, brother, do not force me, nor be so wicked as to transgress the laws. What laws is she talking about? Do you know about the laws? Hmm? Talking about the sexual purity laws about laying with your sister, uncovering the nakedness of your sister. You're not supposed to uncover the nakedness of your sister. This is what she's talking about. And bring upon thyself the utmost confusion. Curb this. Curb this is crazy. Curb this, thou unrighteous and impure lust, for which our house will get nothing but reproach and disgrace. What you think these people gonna say about us? You raped me. But this is the thing. Jehu is on the way. Well, Jehu is here. There is no compromise. She don't know this. Ain't no point in you talking. You like Jezebel trying to put your makeup on. It ain't this. There is nothing you can do to stop this. It's sad. You do have to. You have to go about the protocol. It makes sense that you want to try to stop it. It makes sense that you got something to say. But in the scheme of things, um, yeah, it's gonna happen. She also advised him to speak to his father about this affair, for he would permit him to marry her. This, she said, as desirous to avoid her brother's violent passion at the present. She not trying to marry this dude, but she said, "Ask Daddy, man. He'll let you marry me." You know, she putting that makeup on good. She putting that makeup on real good. She's trying to avoid the destruction, which is smart. I'm not gonna lie. It's very smart, and it might have worked on lesser men. It might have worked on lesser men. But when Jehu is at play, he's on your ass. This ain't somebody who gonna listen to your pleas and your cries. He's not gonna pardon your transgression. He don't want to hear it. This, she said, as desirous to avoid her brother's violent passion at present, but he would not yield to her. No, he's not. But inflamed with love and blinded with the vehemency of his passion, he forced his sister. But as soon as Amnon had satisfied his lust, he hated her immediately, and giving her reproachful words, bade her rise up and be gone. And when she said that this was a more injurious treatment than the former, if now he had forced her, he would not let her stay with him till the evening, but bid her go in the daytime, and while it was light, that she might meet with people that would be witnesses of her shame. Because she's probably bleeding. Okay, she was a virgin. Um, she would probably continuously bleed all over her dress. And she's a virgin. Everybody knows she's a virgin. So they're gonna be like, "Why you got blood on your dress? What you got going on?" You know, you a princess, so when it's your period and all that, you know how to dress that you don't get the blood on you. Okay, so what are you doing with blood on you? She went on her period, so she didn't have the proper attire or whatever to make it to where it don't get out. So it's like it's out. What's going on here? He commanded his servant to turn her out of his house. Whereupon she was sorely grieved at the injury and violence that had been offered to her, and rent her loose coat. For the virgins of old time wore such loose coats tied at the hands and let down to the ankle, that the inner coats might not be seen, and sprinkled ashes on her head, and went up the middle of the city, crying out and lamenting for the violence that had been offered her. See, that's the good crying out. That's how you kind of cover yourself against the judgment. You let it be openly known. You know, her trying to stay there and you know be hidden. It wasn't the proper move. You know, it might have made it appear that she was accepting of the thing. But this happening how it's happening, although it's unfortunate, right? Although it's, you know, grievous, it's also happening in such a way that it's showing that she wasn't with that, you know.
That's what I
Um,
was. That's what I was thinking. Because when you was like, at the beginning, you was like, I know why you said it, but because you said she doesn't know that Jehu's coming or it's here, but things are happening that she don't, behind the scenes. She don't know the behind the scenes yet. And you was like, there ain't no need to do all that talking and trying to like put that makeup on in a way as you was like she was putting on her makeup on, in that type of allegory.
yeah, I got you.
So it was kind of it was like, had she not done it, had she not tried to convince or put that makeup on, as we saying, she would be, according to the Torah, she would be complicit because it wouldn't be the crying out part, like.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I understood that. That's why I say, you know, it's the going through the motions, you know, and it ended up being good later because if I'm not mistaken, somebody married her, right? I can't remember who it was. I think it was who asked who asked to marry Tamar. Uh, anyway, somebody high up married her, and it's most likely because she had an honorable name. It ain't just that she David's daughter. It's that although everybody probably know what happened to her, it's also being remembered how she handled herself in this time. And it's clear that she was raped. Because this woman walking through the streets crying with ashes on her head, she, she's clearly mourning this situation, right? So everything served a purpose, you know, because it was handled in such a way. It's like the judgment has to come because as a righteous ruler, this is what I got to do, you know, but I can do it in such a way that afterwards it be restored, you know, not without effect. Not without effect. You're going to be restored, but it's going to be some trembles. They're going to remember this thing that happened and why it happened, you know. So, Todayah for his awesomeness, right? David was restored. Tamar was restored. The things she lost or whatever, she got back in other ways, right? She did marry a great man. Hold on. Let's
who
find
was
out
who
who
was
did
the
Tamar
one that
marry.
played the harlot in the streets and took um or was got the staff or whatever, and she came back? Wasn't that Tamar?
Uh,
Remember?
yes, but that was Judah's son's
Oh, okay,
wife.
yeah, yeah, okay, right, not okay, not okay.
So the other did not marry anyone. That's a lie. She did marry someone. Oh no, I'm thinking of you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of it was a girl who was hired to sleep with King David when he was old. And I guess he was shivering at night or whatever. So somebody said, let's get a maiden to lay with him and keep him warm at night. So um somebody asked Solomon could they marry her. I think it was Solomon's brother, one of the brothers. Somebody asked to marry her. But I can't believe she didn't get married. I thought she married somebody else. Does not record that Tamar ever married. Let's see if Josephus said. I feel like I read somewhere. Oh, it won't let me read it all the way. Oh well, Salakia. Apparently, Tamar did not remarry. Well, or get married. Apparently, she stayed unmarried. Why I didn't lost the dang on? Okay, there we go. Thought I lost the thing. Oh, okay. So we started this whole thing trying to find out about Absalom and his rise to kingship. So I was trying to prove what I said about Josephus talking about how he rose.
Who, King David? Or, I mean, Absalom?
Yeah, it does speak about it somewhere. These things are long, boy. Josephus was a talker. Josephus and Paul is like right up there together.
And that's why you love him
Okay.
too, because you right up there with him.
Okay. So he eventually now she was walking down the street with the ashes on her head and all that. It says, now Absalom, her brother, happened to meet her and asked her what sad thing had befallen her that she was in that plight. And when she had told him what injury had been offered her, he comforted her and desired her to be quiet and take all patiently and not to esteem her being corrupted by her brother as an injury. So she yielded to his advice and left off her crying out and discovering the force offered her to the multitude. And she continued as a widow with her brother Absalom a long time. When David, his
Oh,
father,
wait,
knew
hold on.
this, he was grieved.
That part right there, was that mean like only them two knew? So it was like a thing where she mourned with him, like because it was together, or
No, I think more than them two knew. I just think it's speaking to for us to understand how she lived with him. You know, she probably wore like mourner's clothes, or she probably lived like Judith lived. You know, it speaks about her fasting every day, besides like Shabbat days and the feast days and all that. It speaks about her dressing in a certain way, right? That's why her like getting all sharp and sexy for the general was like a big thing because it's like she hadn't been like this. She had been living like quiet out the way. She even had somebody governing her household for her because she was just so out the way. You know what I'm saying? And that's how she lived with Absalom. Like, you do everything. I'm gonna stay in the background. Like, y'all probably gonna hardly ever see me, hardly ever hear from me. That's how she lived. It says, when David, his father, knew this, he was grieved at the actions of Amnon. But because he had an extraordinary affection for him, for he was his eldest son, he was compelled not to afflict him. But Absalom watched for a fit opportunity of revenging this crime upon him, for he thoroughly hated him. Now, the
Now
second
hold
year
on, and
after this wicked
this
affair.
is Absalom and Tamar. I mean, Absalom and Tamar. They have the same mom and dad, right? That's because only he's the half brother, right? No. Amnon's the half brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got the same mom and dad. That's probably why too.
And how crazy is it that when she was in this street that Absalom found her? Of all the people who could have found her, Absalom did. Jehu's on his ass. The judgment, everything is happening perfectly for the judgment of the Most High to come about. For his prophecy that he spoke to come about, it happens perfectly. Cause now it's quiet. Now it's like maybe everybody don't know. Only certain people connected to the situation know. And it's like maybe we can get past it. But the judgment is embarrassment. The judgment is affliction. The judgment is just for hearts to be broken. David, like, you know what? I ain't gonna punish my son. I love him. All this stuff. No, you can't control this. You can't just, you know, some bad stuff happen. I'm, I'm just gonna take that and run with it. I ain't gonna make it worse. I'm just gonna chill. No, the Most High don't let you chill. Absalom not gonna let you chill. You find out he killed Ahab's son. He killed Jezebel. You think he done? We we didn't finish reading the story. You think he done? No, he's not done. He got killed. That man got sons. That man had multiple wives. You think Jezebel had all his children? No, she not have all his children. This woman conceited. This woman ain't the kind that be like, I'm gonna have all these babies. No, you sleep with my handmaid. You sleep with old girl over here, old girl over there. You go get your sister wife or something. I'm not having all them babies. It's Jezebel. The Most High said, your whole house, everything that pissed against the wall. So all them women you had all over everywhere, all them babies gotta die. He perfect. He perfect with it. Perfect with it. You know how perfect it was when Jehu found them babies? It was all in one place. All in one place. Had these babies by different women, probably in different places and at different times. When judgment came, they was all in one spot. How, this how perfect the Most High is. Oh, yeah. Anyway, now the second year after this affair happened, about his sister was over, and Absalom was about to go to shear his own sheep at Baal Hazor, which is in a city in the portion of Ephraim. He besought his father as well as his brethren to come and feast with him. But when David excused himself as not being willing to be burdensome to him, this is how it happens, right? It ain't that David just don't want to go. Okay, when you a king, it's certain measures and stuff that have to take place. You know, like the Secret Service and all that. When the president goes somewhere, he don't just say, you know what, I'm gonna go over here and just go. No, the Secret Service go, and they look around, they make sure everything's fine. They look high, they look low. You can't just the king just can't just go anywhere. They would say, you know what, man, I ain't trying to put you through all that. You know what I'm saying? Cause my mighty men, the people I got with me, my security, they not finna just be around willy nilly. They finna look high and look low and be digging all through your stuff and all this stuff. I ain't even gonna put you through that, dog. I ain't gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch you next time. This is happening because Absalom is trying to have something on his territory. My David, like, man, I'm not finna go. Them people gonna run through your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your people just ain't gonna be able to cook me food and just bring it through. No, I got personal shit. I got people that's gonna make sure this thing ain't poison. I got people that's gonna do all this whole extra stuff. Like, man, I ain't gonna put you through all that. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they do. It's their job to do this, to protect me. So to appease them and appease you, I ain't even gonna go. But the Most High be knowing this. That's why he didn't put it on Absalom's mind to throw a feast where David's safe at. He don't want David there. If David there, I can't kill my brother. I want to kill my brother. I want to make sure this thing happen perfect. So I'm gonna have an idea to have it on my territory. Well, my daddy got enough sense to know, man, if I show up, man, it's gonna be too much. It's gonna be chaos when I'm in the building. Because when I'm in the building, everything gotta get right. Everything gotta get right when I show up. So you know what? I ain't gonna go. You and your brothers in my bearer car. It go 1,000 sheep, 1,000 bullocks, whatever. Y'all kill that. It goes some handmaidens. Y'all have a good time. I'll see you next time. You know what I'm talking about? It said David excused himself, not being willing to be burdensome to him. Absalom desired he would, however, send his brethren. Absalom is a genius. He's a genius. He know what he's doing. He know for well what he's doing. All of David's children is intelligent. You got to think they growing up. First of all, they his children, so they gonna have him in them. Not only that, they got access to the best teachers of everything. If I want to learn math, my daddy got the best mathematician in the world down the street. I want to learn how to fight. My daddy got the grand champion of the grand champions. He lived next door. They got that. So it's like this is the higher. This is the 1%. These 1%. You think these just regular people? No. But the Most High don't give a damn about you being no 1%. When I send Jehu on your ass, he on your ass. Damn about you being intelligent and having all this access. You know what? All that is gonna be to your destruction. Because you so smart. Because you think you big and bad. You finna do everything I want you to do. I like you being big and bad. Cause when I destroy it, they're gonna be like, how this happen? How this happened to that family? The mighty hand of the Most High. The better you are, the mightier you are, the better it is when you fall. They was, hey, man, Tamar got raped. Tamar? David's daughter? Oh, she don't get raped. Ain't no way. Ain't no way she got raped. Not Tamar. You messing with King, when you messing with the Most High, y'all. Oh yeah, she got raped. Oh yeah, he made it happen. And what's that? It's divine intervention. Most High love it when you big and bad and think you can't be touched. So don't worry about it. I got somebody that can touch you. And Jehu, my servant. Go take care of that. You know what I'm talking about? Israel. Thought they was big and bad. You know what it? Nebuchadnezzar, my servant. Go take care of that for me. Go take care of that. Jehu. Go take care of that. On your ass. Absalom desired he would, however, send his brethren, whom he did send accordingly. Then Absalom charged his own servants that when they would see Amnon, disordered and drowsy with wine. That man, listen, that man's smart, man. But he don't know he being used. He think he is fulfilling his own desires and his own revenge. No, buddy. You playing a role in spiritual Jehu. This your time. This your time to shine in spiritual Jehu. You wonder why? Why am I able to succeed in this? Like, I don't want my daddy to come. I want to set this up. You know what? My daddy didn't come. You know what? I can set this up. You know, I want to get these boys drunk. You don't believe it? Them boys get drunk. In your mind, you say, this is working out in my pleasure. You don't consider. David considered. He didn't consider in this. But when that man was throwing rocks and stuff, that man said, hold on. That man throwing rocks. That man cussing me out. People don't throw rocks at me. People don't cuss at me. I kill folks. They know I kill folks. Why is he doing this? And this is the thing. When you allow not to see, you need to wonder why you don't get to see, man. You need to wonder why you don't get to see. And you say, I ain't see nothing. Ain't nothing going on. No, you need some more side. Something going on. Please show me. Please show me. I need to know. If I need to repent, if something going on, please show me something wrong. Don't just think because ain't nothing going on that it's sweet. You know, people think because ain't nothing going on it's sweet. Absalom think, oh, I love it when a plan come together. Man, you destroying your father's house. You don't even see it. You don't even see it. You a part of the game. You don't even see it. You might think you're doing something slick. You getting over. You a part of the judgment. You don't even get it. Absalom don't get it. When they had done as they were commanded, the rest of his brethren, hold on, let's go back. Then Absalom charged his own servants that when they should see Amnon disordered and drowsy with wine, and he should give them a signal, they should fear nobody, but kill him. When they had done as they were commanded, the rest of his brethren were astonished and disturbed and were afraid for themselves. So they immediately got on horseback and rode away to their father. But somebody there was who prevented them and told their father they were all slain by Absalom. So this is crazy. Why is this nigga just stopping them? Who put in this man's mind to go tell David all his sons is dead? Huh? It don't say who talked to this man. It don't say why this man would go tell them folks that. His sons is here to talk to their daddy. The man don't let him go talk to their daddy. He go talk to their daddy. He said, Absalom killed all your sons. They not dead. But this is for the effect on David. Even if temporary. Man, heartbroken. He'd have been heartbroken only to lose Amnon, his eldest son. Not only have you left Amnon, you lost everybody but Absalom. Absalom done killed everybody. Heartbroken. Judgment. If only temporary. It's temporary. You got to feel that. You got to feel that thing. You got to take that. Take that. David had to take that. Most high, the most divine intervention. It don't say who this man name ain't even known in history. He's an NPC. I said non-player character. Nobody know this nigga. But this nigga prevented them sons from telling David what happened and how it happened. So this man brought worse news. I show you the most I didn't want him to know. At least at that time. He didn't want him to know that all his sons wasn't dead. He wanted him to feel that. Feel that. How you feel? How you like that? How you like that? Huh? That's how I get down. I told you I was gonna get you, didn't I? I told you I was gonna get you. How you like that? Then you get to find out about his compassion. When they say, you know what? I didn't kill all your sons. I just killed the one. The rest of them boys, they're alive. They're over there. Then you say, what? Toda! Woo! Mighty and compassionate is he. Because you know what? When they told me all my sons was dead, you know what I had to say? Damn, I deserved it. What you gotta say? Damn, I deserved it, man. This cause I did that to Uriah, man. Killed that man, took that man's wife. He told me he was gonna judge me. He done got me, man. Dang. Then somebody come tell you, you know all your sons ain't dead, right? Boy, don't play with me. No, they ain't dead. They over there. Told I y'all, because I deserved it. But he didn't bring me to a complete end. Listen, man. Mighty and awesome is he, man. But the fact David can come to a mind and say, you know what? I did deserve it. I did. I had it coming. I would that he wouldn't do it. I didn't want him to do it. I know I killed the man. I already lost my first son. My daughter didn't got raped. That man killed my whole family. Gotta take it. Gotta take it on the chin. So I say, you know, I ain't kill them all. I ain't kill them all. Let they go over there. You know what I'm saying? Told that y'all, man. But if I wanted to, I could have. What you need to know, if he wanted to get you, if I wanted all of them dead, they'd be dead. You gotta know who you're serving. You gotta know who you're working with. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, somebody there was who prevented them and told their father they were all slain by Absalom, whereupon he was overcome with sorrow. Huh? That effect, boy. Most I want that effect. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel me. As for so many of his sons that were destroyed at once, and that by their brother also, and by this consideration that it was their brother that appeared to have slain them, he aggravated his sorrow for them. So he neither inquired what was the cause of the slaughter, nor stayed to hear anything else, which yet was but reasonable to have done, when so very great, and by what greatness so incredible. And by that greatness so incredible a misfortune was related to him, he rent his clothes and threw himself upon the ground, and there lay lamenting the loss of all his sons. But those who, as he was informed, were slain, and of him who slew them. So the man ain't asked no questions. Who? Who killed them? Why? Where they at? Man ain't asked no question. The man said, Absalom killed all your sons. That man said, he ain't asked no questions. Why, Lord? No, I know exactly why. I know why. I know why. That man punishing me. What I done? I can't do nothing but cry. Can't do nothing but cry about it. May we have the understanding of David. He understood. The mighty not say he giveth and he taketh away. What? But Jonadab, the son of his brother Shemaiah, and wasn't that crazy? Jonadab is the boy's nephew. Huh? His nephew. But Jonadab, the son of his brother Shemaiah, entreated him not to indulge his sorrow so far. It's the wise man. He's so wise. I don't think David even know that Jonadab is the one that put Amnon up to rape his sister. You know what I'm saying? The enemy lurks in the background, huh? But Jonadab, the son of, huh?
I said, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that until you just said it just now.
Yeah. But I don't know. You know, it could have been two Jonadabs. It don't really say explicitly. You know, just cause they share the same name. I mean, it's the same character, but it could be the same character. But he's moving in wisdom. Whoever this Jonadab is, he's a wise one. Okay. But Jonadab, son of his brother Shemiah or Shemaiah, entreated him not to indulge his sorrow so far, for as to the rest of his sons, he did not believe that they were slain, for he found no cause for such a suspicion, but he said it might deserve inquiry as Amnon. And this is why, because he's got knowledge. He's got inside knowledge. He know Absalom is Tamar's brother, full blood brother. He know Tamar been living with Absalom, and he know Absalom is not no regular old geek off the street. Mm-mm. Absalom somebody. Absalom is, of all of David's sons, he the one that's like that. Man, know this, right? He said, hold on. Absalom ain't kill all them boys. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Because him being wise, his hands in it is in everything. He is in his wisdom, he inquires of everything. So his hand, he got little spies and stuff, got him everywhere. This is how good wise men do. In their wisdom, they seek knowledge from everywhere. So he like, I know Absalom want to kill Buddy. He probably been knew Absalom and want to kill Amnon. Like, one of my people said Absalom was talking about killing Buddy at dinner. I was like, Absalom gonna kill that boy. So in his mind, his wisdom, he said, yeah, he should. He probably should kill him. So days go by, time go by. He said, well, it is what it is. Then when he hear about King David's sons being dead, he like, I expected to hear news one day about one of David's sons being dead. Not all of them. All of them don't make no sense. Amnon? Oh yeah, make all sense in the world. Because Absalom, but he said, uh, uh, he will not cease until his desires been met. That man, Absalom ain't gonna play no games with you. But Absalom ain't the type to kill all his brothers though. He's a loving man to his friends. He is disastrous to his foes. And that's what this wise man understood. So when he hear about David crying and falling all out behind, he said, man, hold on, man. Notice, he was wise enough to not say, ain't none of it true. He didn't tell him that. And his wisdom, he said, no, somebody definitely did. It ain't all of them. It ain't all of them. No, he said, I believe Absalom killed somebody. He definitely been had it on his mind. He ain't killed all of them. He said, Shemaiah entreated him not to indulge his sorrow so far, for as the rest of his sons, he did not believe that they were slain, for he found no cause for such a suspicion, but he said it might deserve inquiry as to Amnon, for it was not unlikely that Absalom might venture to kill him on account of the inquiry he had offered to Tamar. Huh? That's what I didn't read this. Everything I just said before I started reading, I didn't know this was in there. So yeah. Anyway, in the meantime, a great noise of horses and the tumult of some people that were coming turned their attention to them. They were the king's sons who were fled away from the feast. So their father met them as they were in their grief, and he himself grieved with them. But it was more than he expected to see those his sons again, whom he had a little before heard to have perished. This that man told her, yeah, man. I can't be completely happy because my firstborn is dead. Right? I can't, I can't rejoice. But boy, let me tell you, the fact that he ain't brought me to a complete end, boy, that thing be sweet unto me. That thing be definitely sweet unto me. What is the 15th?
Saturday.
It's Saturday. Let me get that. I was wondering what I was gonna do for Saturday, and something just popped up. Hold on. Let me make sure. No, 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 no. Okay, so yeah. All right. Forgot where I was going with that. Those sons again. However, there were tears on both sides. They lamenting their brother who was killed, and the king lamenting his son who was killed also. But Absalom fled to Geshur to his grandfather by his mother's side. I wonder who is his daddy? Grandfather on his mama's side, who was king of that country and remained with him. Okay, in my mind, I'm tripping. Cause I'm wondering. Well, here you see, David did married a king's daughter. I said they not marrying no regular women. The most regular woman we hear about David being with is Abigail. We don't hear about Abigail, being no king's daughter. She was married to a rich man. You know what I'm saying? These kings ain't messing with no regular old geeks off the street. These women is thoroughbreds, as they say. Huh? What they say? Come from good stock. You know what I'm talking about? These women come from good stock. And that's what they got. That's who they are. It said Absalom said to Geshur to his grandfather by his mother's side, who was king of that country, and he remained with him 3 whole years. That's something else you need to understand about King Solomon. The man had what, 300 wives, 700 concubines. These women come from good stock. These ain't no regular women. These women is princesses, or they were handmaidens to princesses and to kings' wives. These women is highborn. You think he met Jenny from the block in the marketplace and said, "You gonna be my what?" No, Jenny from the no, we don't do no Jenny from the block. No, this is Jenny, the politician's daughter. Huh? This is the daughter of the great mathematician. This is somebody's child. This ain't no, they don't do no regular folk, regular kinsmen. You think Jehu was some damn regular foot soldier? Some regular dude? No, this is the captain of the host. You don't get to be the captain of the. This is the baddest of the bad men. Okay, you don't get you get the best of the best. There's a real bad man, real bad man. Him, listen. Jehu is the Most High is going to use the best of the best, the creme de la creme. Now, David had a design. So this is another thing. Don't despise things you might be going through, because you're going through it for an end. Right? The Most High is making you the perfect vessel for a situation. Huh? You don't know what Jehu went through as a child to make him the kind of man that'll kill a man's whole family line. You don't know what he went through. That man could have went through hell. That man could have had somebody abuse and beat the dog snot out of him for years. Went through all kind of oppression, but it molded him into the kind of a character that when the Most High said, "Hey, I want you to go kill this man's whole family," he said, "Okay, that is no problem. I like it, huh? You don't know, you don't know what the Most High is preparing you for. You might be somebody else's Jehu, huh? You don't know, but you take it and you take it with you know, with Amunah or quote unquote faith. For those of you that don't know what that word means, but anyway, I don't know. We are 3 hours in on this thing.
And I
Uh,
love it.
thought uh, this ain't the story of Absalom I'm looking for, unless I didn't skip it, because Absalom is already on his way to the kingship without doing all that politicking that I had seen somewhere else. Where did I hear the story about the politicking with the boy? Um, let's just keep going. Now, David had a design to send to Absalom, not that he should come to be punished, but that he might be with him, for the effects of his anger were abated by length of time. It was Joab, the captain of his host, that chiefly persuaded him so to do, for he suborned an ordinary woman that was stricken in age to go to the king in mourning apparel, who said thus to him, that two of her sons in a coarse way had had some difference between them, and that in the progress of that difference they came to an open quarrel, and that one was smitten by the other and was dead, and she desired him to interpose in this case and to do her the favor to save this her son from her kindred, who were very zealous to have him that had slain his brother put to death, but so she might not be further deprived of the hope she had of being taken care of in her old age by him, and that if he would hinder this slaughter of her son by those that wished for it, he would do her a great favor, because the kindred would not be restrained from their purpose by anything else than by the fear of him. That's why I say, man, that man Josephus, he be writing in such a way, like a whole bunch of extra words. It just be sounding so just profound. Man, just cut straight to the point, man. Man, tell us plainly, man. Huh? The woman is basically saying, my two sons got into a fight. One of them kill each other. Everybody in my family and friends want to kill my other son. She said, I don't want to kill my other son. I lost two. I mean, I lost one. I don't want to lose two. Could you make these people stop desiring to kill my son? Could you let them know it's hands off? And went into a whole list of things. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, when the king had given his consent to what the woman had begged for of him, she made this reply to him: I owe thee thanks for thy benignity. Benignity. It's not benignity, right? Because it comes from benign, which would take the ity off of there. Benignity to him in pitying my old age and preventing the loss of my only remaining child, but in order to assure me of this thy kindness, be first reconciled to thine own son, and cease to be angry with him. For how shall I persuade myself that thou hast really bestowed this favor upon me, while thou thyself continuest after the like manner in thy wrath to thine own son? For it is a foolish thing to add willfully another to thy dead son, while the dead of the other was brought about without thy consent. She said, I guess you can get it anyway. Now the king perceived that this pretended story was a subordination derived from Joab. David said, I didn't figure this dude out by now. Because for y'all who don't know, Joab been doing little side stuff the whole time. He been just doing all kinds. That's why David told Solomon, he said, listen, man, take care of buddy. You know what I'm saying? Because he been doing all kind of little sideways stuff. I ain't been able to catch him how I want to catch him. He been real tricky, real wiry. He been just doing all kind of stuff. He said, man, you know what? Only Joab could put this woman up to say something like this. He's like, why this woman talking to me like? David understood that people gonna handle him a certain way and treat him a certain way, and whenever they don't treat him and handle him a certain way, something is going on. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell me I got to forgive my son because you and your son like? Ain't nobody dumb enough to talk to me like this. Ain't nobody dumb enough to talk to me like this. This is Joab. Joab doing this. Do you know? Are you the kind of person that's not gonna miss certain details because there's a certain order to your life that if something out of order, you already know? David know when something out of order in his life. Hold on. Something ain't right. Do you know? Huh? You better learn. He could help you. Anyway, and was of his contrivance, and when upon inquiry of the old woman, he understood it to be so. In reality, he called for Joab and told him he had obtained what he requested according to his own mind, and he bid him to bring up some. He said, "Man, I talked to the old girl, man. I get what you were trying to do, man. I dig it. Right? Go get Absalom. You know, Joab is also Joab is David's cousin, by the way, which is probably why he showed him so much leniency. Joab is the son of no, he ain't his cousin. He's his nephew. Joab is the brother of one of David's sisters. No, is it Joab or is it I think Ebner? Because it was two generals. I think it was Ebner and Joab. One was David's right hand man. The other one was Saul's right hand man.
Who you talking about, babe?
Who was Saul's number two in them wars and stuff? Who was his captain of the host? I know we read the story.
Um,
Abner, not Ebner. Was Abner with
Abner was the chief.
David or with
Abner
Saul?
was with Saul.
Abner was with Saul, and Abner got killed.
Yeah, Abner got killed by Saul's son. I think
No,
when
Joab killed
when he
Abner.
went to.
Now I
You
think
said
about it.
Joab did that?
Joab killed him.
Oh,
It was his
for
scheme
killing his.
to kind of take over Saul's house or whatever, because they was going to war, but they was gonna make peace. But Joab killed Abner. So yeah,
Because
okay.
Abner killed what's his name that he told him to stop pursuing after him and he wouldn't and he slew him and then
No,
they
that's when Joab killed Abner. That's how he killed him. Joab chased Abner, and Abner was like, "What you doing, dog?" If I'm not mistaken,
okay.
because I think it was a hatred there because in the previous wars, I think Abner killed Joab's brother.
Yeah, he killed this. But that's what I was saying. Because remember, he pursued after him, and he was like, "Why are you pursuing after me? Turn from pursuing me before you create this." Basically, paraphrasing, and he smoked him under the rib, and um that's when he was still trying. I think that's because he killed what's his name. I think his brother. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let's just cut it right there, man, because we still ain't got to the part about Absalom and all that. So, you know, in 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 uh in conclusion, don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass, right? Because Jehu represents the judgment, the perfect judgment of the Most High, of one who has been raised up, right? One who has been raised up, one who has been fully prepared. Can you hear me back?
Yes, I can hear you.
I just want to make sure I can be heard on the stream. But anyway, Yahoo, Jehu, which his name probably is Yahoo for real, which is crazy. You got Yahoo, the internet, and judgment. I don't know, but uh, Jehu represents the perfect judgment of the Most High on his enemies, upon them who has wronged his servants, who has transgressed his word, and on them who sit comfortably, right, and who might think they're too high to be touched, or they got too much success in their doings to be judged for. It's like, man, it's been going good all this time. Like, it's gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? And it's like Jehu represents the ending of all that. You know what I'm saying? He represents the chickens coming home to roost. He represents the ending of the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Jehu represents the chickens coming home to roost. Huh? He represents the chickens coming home to roost. He represents the beginning of sorrow for the guilty. Mm. And that's the story. Now, I did finish reading Second Kings chapter 10, which goes on more into the judgment phase and the zeal of Jehu. Which, feel free to read that on your own, right? But told I to y'all for quote unquote thanks, quote unquote God, for how this has turned out. You know, I intended to go one way, but the course of things led me into another way. But it still was awesome, and it still was edifying. You know, to me, to my Shah, and um, prayerfully to you as well. Uh, you know, don't make the Most High put Jehu on your ass.
Hey man, it's about time for y'all to hit that like and that subscribe button. You've been around here soaking up all the game like a dry sponge in a wet puddle. You've been robbing your brother of his likes and his subscription. You don't want to comment. You don't want to hit the share button. You're selfish. You don't want to participate. Then you need to evacuate. Get on up out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry, because we don't need your kind. Now, for those of you that's going to do what's right, go ahead and get it then. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment, and sit back and relax. Let's get into these scripts. You dig?
All right, all right. I just want to close out the show. Well, I don't know. Do you have anything, babe, that you want to say in closing? If you're talking, we can't hear you. Let's see if she's gonna come back and join us. She might or might not. Give her a second. All right. All honor and esteem to the creator of the heavens and the earth and the seas and everything in them. And thanks to his been his son Yahushua Mashiach.